they finish, they will have what? Job. So when you finish, you are assured of 2 career paths. You can go to clinical practice, you have your job there, and become medical laboratory scientist, orthotists and prosthetists, diagnostic imaging or radiographer, physiotherapists, dietitians. So these things are there. And if you want to remain in the practice, in future, you can go and do master's program. Then you have more advanced knowledge. Then you will remain in that practice. That is one path for you till you retire in 60 years. You can also decide that after practice more, you want to go into what we call procreation. All the people sitting here, they were once like you, student. Then they graduated as laboratory scientists, like my brother behind and beside me. He practiced at the hospital for some time. Now he is training people to become like him. So you want to go into academia, and you also want to train people so that they will be dietitians or they will be physiotherapists in future like you. So your career progression is excellent for you. So you must be happy to be here. Now, because you are in University of Health and Allied Sciences, it means you want to be a healthcare professional. Now, when you go to the hospital, it is unfortunate that most of you, and even the entire country, our mindset, we think when you go to hospital, you see only one person who is important there, who is a doctor. It's wrong. The healthcare setting has a lot of professionals. We have the medics. We call them medics. The doctors, the clinicians, physicians, they are one group. We also have a group of people called nurses. They are also there. We have pharmacists, they are there. We have allied health professionals, they are there. We have sports and exercise medical scientists, they are there. All of you sitting here now, if any of you fall sick, you go to this hospital. The first point, you go and see a nurse. He will write, take your vitals and take all those things. From there, you go and see a doctor. The doctor will say, oh, looking at what you are, your condition, what you are complaining of, go to the lab, let somebody do investigation to find out what is there. From there, you can go, the doctor can say, oh, we want to have pictorial view of what is inside you. Go and do maybe chest X-ray or scan. Then you go and do that. From there, you do all the rounds. You come back to the doctor, he will study the report and say, oh, based on that, you have malaria or you have a condition in your bone or something. Then he will write medicine. Then you go and see the pharmacist. Then he will also give you the medicine. Then when you are rehabilitating, maybe it's bone problem, so you have to go to physiotherapy to help you to know how to walk, to be able to nurture you. So all these stages, do you say one stage is more important than the other? What do you think? Everybody is what? Important in that setting. So in the health setting is there. I've said that we have 16 public universities. So far, it's only 5 that train health professionals that you want to be. We have UHAS, we have Legon, University of Ghana, KNUST, University of Cape Coast, University of Developmental Studies, which is in what? Tamale. The question is one of the university important than the other? No. Because you are training to be health professional, apart from the training we are going to give you in the university, we will come to later know that you have to write a licensure exams, a professional. You have to be a professional. So we have professional body which is regulating all. So when you go to hospital and there's a doctor there, there's a nurse, there's medical laboratory scientist, there's a radiographer, will you ask the person which school were you trained before you allow the person to attend to you? No. You know the person as a health professional. So yes, there are different schools. Some of you are crying because you didn't go to Legon. Maybe because it's Accra. The only difference between Legon and UHAS, so far as this training is concerned, at Legon you will see more cars and traffic. Here you will see the cars and traffic. So that's the only difference. But in terms of the course, the pathology, the anatomy, you will see that it's the same thing you'll be doing. You write almost the same exams. It is only the environment. So don't consider yourself as maybe inferior because you didn't go to tech, you didn't go to, it doesn't matter. It is if it matters at all, it's just bragging right. Some of us sitting here, they schooled outside and all that. But whether you school outside or you school in Ghana or you school in Togo, it's the same professionals. What matters is the output you are what? Developing. So thank yourself to be with SAHS. Before you finish school, your teachers, your lecturers, here we call them lecturers, they are not teachers from secondary school. A lot of training. And before you finish, you need two important things before you can go out there and start applying your science on human beings. You need knowledge and you need what we call skills. So the health programs are like apprenticeship. You need skills. You are like a seamstress or a tailor. Learning all those ones, you should know how to use your hands. Apply it. So what it means is that knowledge, you get it through a lot of teaching. There are a lot of courses. They will talk about courses you will register. And they will help you to know how to learn. Here you are not going to learn physics, chemistry, biology, and maths and DYDS. Then you are, no. You are really going to learn things that you apply the science to practical here. Maybe some of you should be fortunate that you didn't go to medical school because of the level of training. I don't know whether physiotherapy to do here. When you were learning your biology in school, you were with toys and pictures and others. By this time, you deal with dead bodies, cadavers. You have to see what a human heart is. You have to see something. So here you are applying your science. You are going to apply the science here. And apart from that, giving you knowledge, the lecturers, you do a lot of practicals or clinicals. Ideally, you are supposed to be in classroom for 3 days. Then you are supposed to go to the hospital for practicals for what? 2 days. But they have a mix. That's the ideal thing. So before you finish as medical laboratory scientist, you know how to draw sample from the human body. You know how to put them under microscope and look into and be able to diagnose that. So this is the sort of training. These days, the health training has changed small. I just want to psych your mind to tell you how you should behave. Those days when almost all of us were training in the universities, when you see somebody doing social science, we call them socio-so. You see the difference between them and somebody doing health. If you are doing health courses like medicine, pharmacy, and those things, it's not a beauty contest you are coming to do here. The ladies who want to now, you know, you have your freedom, so you want to be beautiful and others. No. It's a lot. You are going to really, really do clinical things. Sometimes there's nothing like vacation for you. In middle school, you have to go and do something we call what? Vocational training. And they will talk about it. So throughout 4 years, you are going to be learning, and practicing till you finish. I hope I'm not scaring some of you that you have to go back. So whilst your friends in Lagos and others, they are on holidays and they are chilling or doing those ones, you will be in clinic. And it's good for you. And that's why when you finish, you have job. And when they finish, they have to go and direct traffic, national service, and other things. Okay. Right. Now, let me quickly wrap up my, welcome to tell you that the health sector, I've been in practice for a long time. The health sector, when you go to hospital, it's a teamwork. It's what? Teamwork means everybody is what? Important. The hospital setting is like this 5 fingers. Each of them is important. And when you go there, the way I explained to you, it's a holistic healthcare. You don't have only one person who is important. So get it. And medicine, modern medicine, we have two ways. We have preventative and what? Curative. And they are all important. Preventative is things you do so that you won't get the sickness. And when you get the sickness, what do we do? And it's important. Allied health profession, most of them are in the area of what? Preventative. Maybe let me quickly answer these questions. I'm just spending time because I know there are a lot of questions on your mind. When you say allied health science, what animal is allied health science? Because as for doctor, you know. As for medicine, you know. When you go to hospital, technically, apart from the doctors and the nurses, if you look at other areas like US and others, apart from doctors and nurses, every worker there, professional worker working there, is an allied health professional. I hope you are. Allied means that you apply your science and knowledge, but you deal with patients either directly or indirectly. Your results and what you are so you are not just going to dissect somebody directly, do surgery, but you do a lot of things that will help the one who is going to cut you make informed what? Decision. So that is allied. Another thing you should get it clear, I've said already that all the health professional programs, when you finish, you can't do things on your own. You are regulated. So if you go to the medical school or doctors, they are regulated by Ghana Medical and Dental Council. You too, there's national body that will regulate you, will give you license to practice. We call them Allied Health Professional Council. Somebody will be talking to you about it. Right from day one, as you have come, they are going to give you index or PIN, a number that you will use throughout your life, and they can regulate you. Currently, there are 12 number of allied health professions working in Ghana, a group of allied health. We have one called medical laboratory scientists or med lab. That one, you know it. Among them, most of you know med labs. It's one group. We have physiotherapists or physiotherapy as a profession, and the professionals are called physiotherapists. So those of you who are doing physiotherapy, one interesting thing about our programs is that when you finish, you get a new name and a new title. They will call you PT what? Maybe PT Sandra, PT something. You have title. So that is what. So we have physiotherapists. We have radiographers or diagnostic radiographers, radiotherapists, and so forth. We have dietitians who are doing a program. So the dietetics people, you graduate, now they will start calling you what? A dietitian. We have speech and language therapists. We have audiologists. We have orthotists and prosthetic people. Occupational therapy, optometry. We have health information and records, medical physics. We have about 12 of them. These are all under allied professions, and they all work in the hospitals, and they are posted. But out of the 12, UHAS is running about 7 of the programs. We are training people in the 7. It means we are doing well, isn't it? 7 out of the 12. We are training medical laboratory sciences. We are training diagnostic imaging people here. We are training physiotherapists, dietitians, speech and language therapists, audiologists, orthotists and prosthetics, then sports and exercise medical scientists. So we are training you for future. Maybe today I'm here as a dean talking to you. Tomorrow I may be a patient and I'll come to the hospital and you will be the lab scientist to take my sample and analyze it for me. You will be a diagnostic radiographer to take image, scan me. You will be maybe a speech therapy to help me overcome my waist pain and back pain and other things. So we have to train you proper so that one day if I find myself in your hands, I won't just look at you and collapse. Right, so quickly, I just want to touch them briefly because this education is important because most of you don't know what you have come here for. When you say lab, medical laboratory people, that one is common, so I won't spend much of time. They just collect samples, analyze them, and help to diagnose diseases, monitor progression of diseases, and so forth. So you've all been to hospital. There are so many areas in med lab. Those who are mainly specializing in blood investigation, we call them what? Hematologists. But for undergraduate, you'll be training in all. But in the future, if you want to go and do specialization, then you can do specialization there. Just as your lecturers here have done specialization. We have microbiology people. There are plenty under microbiology. Parasitologists, bacteriologists, and plenty things. They are there. We have chemical pathology, histopathology people. Now, you know already that when med lab people finish, they can work in the hospital labs, reference labs, public health labs. They can work in academia and so on. So this is how some of you will be. And you see that you cannot work in the lab without the white coat. And your white coat must be white. Right? So you soon have proper white coat. You can't go to the lab with chalawati. You need to dress properly and go to the lab. So that's what some of you hope to be in future. The imaging people, they use machines, they use radiation and non-ionizing radiation to examine internal organs. Sometimes you go and you are complaining, your head, as if there are crabs or insects or snakes inside the head. The doctor will not say, bring knife, let's cut the head. You have to be put into machine for them to take images of inside the brain to see what exactly is there. And that is their work. They take images of internal organs. So you will create images like that. I hope some of you can see the pictures there. We have your spine there. You have your fingers and those things. You have all these things. So it's imaging people will create. In future, the ladies here, until you finish, don't do that. Don't carry baby. You have to finish school before you carry baby. So you see they scan and you see babies. They are all, this is the work of the imaging people. And there are a lot of areas, as I've said. So that's it. Now we also have another one. I want to touch every one place, but the one which is dear to me is the speech and language therapy. This is a very important program. You are going to be 30 in number, but this program is 2 in 1. When you get to third year, you may be asked to select where your interest is. We have audiology and we have speech and language therapy. But for first and second year, you learn who are the audiology people. When you say audiology, they help people who have hearing problems or auditory disorders. Even though I'm using mic here, there are some of you sitting here, you can't even hear proper. You have several problems with the ears. And it's this audiology. We are going to train you to be able to do proper assessment of hearing assessment. When people come and they complain they have hearing problems, difficulties, you do that. We also have speech and language therapy, which is also important. These people, there are a lot of people with communication disorders. They can't talk proper because of other sickness or some conditions and so forth. Even they have problem in swallowing things, even in eating or chewing things, which affect so many components of their lives. And it's the speech therapy people who can help you to be able to overcome that. So they are very, very important also in that. So you'll be going through that training. Now, so we see some of them doing assessment and so forth. And once again, you have to dress properly, wear lab coat, so that you can attend to patients, wear gloves and other things. Some of you are doing physiotherapies. Physio people, they help treat people with injury, disease, or disabilities using physical methods. Right? So, when you have back pain, you have waist pain, you break your legs as a result of accident, or maybe you get stroke, it affects the way you walk. And you are rehabilitated, you are just picking up. You need a physiotherapy to help you to do that. So physiotherapy is not just exercise. You go and do exercise. That's not what we are training you for. You are going to really be trained so that you can help people to maximize their functions. So they also work. Physiotherapy, if you go to every hospital, they are there. Rehabilitation centers, they are there. Schools, industries, recreational centers. Now we have gyms all over. Physiotherapists are very important, and they are there. They have so many areas, so you can see some pictures. Now, dietitians. Everybody here, I believe you have eaten something. I don't know what you ate, whether it's a balanced diet or something. Physiotherapy people, diet people will help you to know how to advise people to eat properly or to use food to solve numerous sedentary lifestyles. People are obese, people have sickness. For example, if somebody has diabetes, you should not be eating anything. You should be able to formulate the diet pattern for the person, and it's so important. Now, obviously, I hope you are having appetite for this food, but these are pictures. You help them to eat proper. Orthotics and prosthetic people. Who are these people? I'm sitting here. When I was coming, I walk nicely here. I'm sitting here talking. God forbid, maybe something happened, I get involved in accident, then they cut my legs. That means I should not be able to walk. It means as a professor I should stop work. No. Orthotics and prosthetic people is about they will be able to assess you and design and manufacture artificial legs for me to be able to walk. So they can produce artificial legs, artificial hands, and all those things. Sometimes in our spines we have problem, back pain, and we may need surgical clips, we may need braces to hold the spines and other things. And orthotics and prosthetic people, they will be doing that. This is a program which requires knowledge. Your biology is there, your physics is there, and you require to soil your hands. If you don't want to go to workshop, then this one they will take to workshop. You should know how to hold the machines and other things to be able to bring out something that will help people. So you could see people. Now we have people with prosthetic legs and other things. And when they are walking, if you are not careful, you will notice that the person doesn't have one leg. And that is the work of the prosthetics. They have a lot of career professions. I will end with sports and exercise medical sciences. This program is not PE. We are not talking about PE here. We have two important focus. We have just finished watching World Cup. How many watched the World Cup? And you saw the footballers. Which teams went to finals? Argentina and what? So Argentina and France, Messi, before he went to the field, he didn't eat banku or plenty food to go to the field or fufu. Sports and exercise medical scientists will help sportsmen and women to be able to eat food, diet that will be able to help them bring their best. So they will do sports nutrition. We have sports psychology. And Ghana was supposed to play Uruguay. And because Uruguay has scores, what does it take apart from skills to beat Uruguay? The psyche of the people. And sportsmen and sports and exercise scientists will help the sportsmen to know that I can beat them. So you go to sports psychology and others. So it's a lot of areas. Apart from sportsmen and women, we have beautiful stadiums. Stop beautiful stadium in, is it Qatar? Yes, Qatar. They are finished playing the football. Who should manage the stadium? A sportsman and what? Sports and exercise what? Scientists. Who should be able to manage sports facilities like stadium, gyms and other things to be able to help save the investment that we have just done. So sports and exercise medicine is very important. We are training them for 2 areas. We have people with sedentary lifestyle, obese. They should be able to tell you that looking at your size, this is the number of exercise you have to do. This is the frequency. This is the intensity of it. And be able to help you so that you and lift things and you collapse and die. They should be able to prescribe exercise as a medicine. Sometimes not all sickness that you should take paracetamol. They will tell you sometimes it's a simple exercise and you correct it, and that is sports and exercise medicine. They play a very key role. So my dear ladies and gentlemen here, you have come here to be trained as health professionals. Your career prospects, job opportunities are there. Unfortunately for Ghana as a developing country, we don't have a lot of money. But when you train the people too, for the past 2 years, all over Europe, UK in particular, and Australia, they are offering juicy enticement to radiographers, lab scientists, health professionals. When they finish, then they run away. I don't want you to run away. You have to help us. So we are going to train you. Don't make it to your mind that when I finish, I'm running away. They need you. The training we are going to give you here is a training that can help you work in US, UK, everywhere you go. That's why it's a professional program we are going to take you through. So the career prospect is there. It's no doubt at all. Don't see yourself that, oh, I've gotten a course, I didn't. No. The future is bright for you. But the future to be bright depends also on you. It's a hard work. Your lecturers will take you through a lot of courses. There's some course, I'm not scaring you, the med lab. You'll be doing about 10 courses, even a semester. 6 courses, 5 courses. But they are all in your own interest. So in conclusion, Allah Health programs provides broad range of health professionals for your career. We are a big family. In Ghana, out of the 12, we are running 7. And when you train, you go out there and you make living for yourself. And you can be sure that when you finish training and you are trained properly, the job prospect is there. So, don't in a second just even in a second, think you are in the wrong place. You have come to a place that if you allow yourself to be trained properly, the sky is the limit. Later on, we will break into groups and your heads of department will come. Even though we are big school like SAHS, we have all the programs. You belong to different programs, and they will come in to talk to you more. I believe this morning I've communicated to some of you, and some of you know exactly what you are here for and the programs. I've brought this education to you so that you too, when you go home, you will go and tell your brothers and sisters in SS about the programs in this school and the career prospect, so that they won't have that fixation of medicine. This year, medicine, you have people even with a grade 7, they didn't get medicine. Why do you worry yourself like that? Whereas there are several health programs you can do and become a better person, you can do and climb to the highest. So, you are welcome, and I wish all of you well. In the next 4 years, hopefully, I'll be here to see you graduating. And when you start getting the money, you pay tithe to all those people here. Thank you very much.
Let's do it better for the dean. Clap for. When Prof said you will not have vacation, some of you change your faces. It's true. You'll be studying throughout. You don't have any long vacation. That will be the period we will engage you in vocational training. The things that you learn here, you go to the field and you practice it. You put it into practice. So I hope you will psych your mind very well and embrace the course that you've chosen. I will invite the head of department for dietetics. He will take us through examination issues, registration, and even talk about some examination malpractice cases, then academic progression. Without much ado, Dr. George Abuaji will take us through.
On behalf of the Dean, I welcome you once again. So I'll talk briefly on academic progression and examinations and registration. So you start with level 100, and God willing, next year you move to 200, the following year 300, and then to 400. Each of the levels will require you to have a number of courses that the lecturers will teach. Before you have access to the courses, they have to be mounted in the SAHS system. When the courses are mounted, you are expected to register. So at the beginning of every semester, the academic calendar will be circulated, mostly through the various platforms that you have the opportunity to be on, especially WhatsApp. And then these courses, after they are mounted, you will go on to the student portal and register. Once you're able to register, you print out the document as PDF, portable document format. And then you will sign the form, making sure that the courses that are displayed are exactly what you will be doing for the semester. Then the heads of department will also confirm the courses for you. So after you sign, you send a form to your head of department to also sign. Then you will transfer the form to the exams and registration officer to also sign for you. After that, you make 4 copies. One for the head of department, one for the exams and registration officer, one for the school office, so the SAHS office, then one to the office of the Dean of Students. Then you will keep the original. Once you have gone through that process, it means your registration is complete. On the academic calendar, there are deadlines that you have to meet in relation to registration. It's a very significant step during the semester that you all have to go through. If you fail to register, you will lose the opportunity to write exams. Because at the end of the semester, when you are about to write exams, the academic unit will print out a photo album. That photo album must have your details, including your photograph. And the album will be circulated during the examination period for you to sign. If you fail to register, you will not appear on the album. And when that happens, you will not be allowed to write the exam. By you registering is also linked to you paying your school fees. It is mandatory for you to make payment, for you to have access to register and go through your examination. Once everything is settled, all you do is you bring your school ID to the exam hall and you'll be checked, then you'll be allowed to enter the hall and write your exam. During the examination, you are not allowed to communicate in whichever way. You must carry all your materials, including correction fluid if necessary, your pens, your erasers, everything you need, calculators, because you are not allowed to share any material. If you are found talking, or if you have been caught in any way, you have to fill a malpractice form, because the university does not condone in any way for students to cheat during exams. So there will be invigilators to monitor every aspect of the exam to make sure that cheating is avoided. After the examinations, if you fail, you will be given the opportunity to write supplementary. And once you pass the supplementary, you'll be given the opportunity again to proceed or move to the next level. There are some courses that you have to repeat if you don't pass the supplementary. There are courses that you'll be able to move to the next level, but you have to write until you pass before you'll be allowed to graduate. And so you have all these options available to you in the UHAS Students Handbook. I think you'll be given the hard copy of the handbook, but there's also the soft copy on the UHAS website. You have to read this handbook, know all the information in it, and apply them as and when needed. So you must make it a habit of going through the handbook in order to become abreast with the do's and don'ts of the university, so that you can go through your course or program within the 4-year period. At any point in time, you have class reps who will stand in between the class and faculty or the lecturers. If you have any issues, you can see the lecturers or go through the class rep to report the matter, and whatever it is will be dealt with. In relation to your school fees, from level 100 to 200, you have 2 semesters, semester 1, semester 2. You must make it a habit of paying all the fees in order to be given the opportunity to register, because once you fail to pay the fees, the registration portal will not open. And once it does not open, it means your details won't be captured in the photo album. And once that happens, you will not be allowed to write exams. And there are consequences for not writing exams. The deadlines, as I said earlier, are very, very important. You have to keep to the deadlines. So you must study the academic calendar very well to know when you have to register and when you will be starting lectures. Every information there is very important. And if you have any issues, you can report or come to the SAHS office to make inquiries or have it solved. So once
There are 4 courses in the university. We have the university-wide courses, university-required courses, departmental courses, and school courses. The university-required courses are 5 courses. So these are type of courses that, irrespective of the program you are doing in UHAS, whether you are reading medicine, physio, medilab, once you come to UHAS, these courses you have to do it in order to graduate. So they are Ghanaian and African studies, quantitative literacy, information literacy, academic and communicative skills 1 and 2. There are 5. These courses, if you decide to fail, that is, if you get E or F, you'll be asked or you'll be given opportunity to do supplementary exams. If you don't pass, again, in supplementary, we are not going to use these courses to repeat you. But you cannot graduate without passing them. Is it clear? You cannot. So as you go higher, level 200, 300, you'll still have opportunity to write it. 400, you'll still have opportunity to write. Until you pass them, you will not be able to graduate. But you will not use these courses. If it's only these courses that you have failed in, you will not be repeated in these courses. Aside these 5 courses, any other course that you do in the university here, whether departmental, school specific, university-wide courses are like biostars, biology, physics, chemistry, all those are university-wide courses. If the department deems it important and they mount it for you and you register it, you are required to pass to move to the next level, including the school specifics and the departmental specific courses. So they are prerequisites for the courses that you do as you go on. So that is a bit about your academic progression. Take note of it. So we will talk about VT. Dr. Wahab is not around. Let me mention it briefly. So as Prof said earlier, actually you will not have much time to be on long vacation. So the period that you have long vacation, we will engage you in clinical training. So this is a unique program specially designed to help you acquire skills and competencies in the programs that you are doing. So during the long vac, after your second semester, after your second semester, before you come back for the next academic year, we will take you to the various fields of your profession, and those are the places that you are going to get the skills. So we will teach you the theory, you will get some practical experience here, but we will take you to the field where the rare things are happening there, and you go through about 6 to 8 weeks of vocational training. So make up your mind. You need to go through this process. The hours that will accumulate will count into your indexing and your licensure exams. So you can't escape it. It's about 6 to 8 weeks, and we go all over the country. So wherever that is appropriate for you, we will engage you. You identify a health facility closer to you, then we will place you there for you to go and learn the skills and the competencies that you need. So that is briefly a bit about VT. It's very unique to UHAS, and these are some of the reasons why people come to UHAS, because we don't only train you to get the theory, we give you the opportunity to practice, and in so doing you acquire the necessary competencies that you need for your profession. In line with that, you have to be indexed with the Allied Health Professional Council. So you will leave here with 2 certificates, hopefully. One is academic, so you go through the 4-year program, you get your academic certificate, but that alone will not qualify you to practice as a physiotherapist or medical scientist. The academic certificate we award to you will not give you the qualification to practice as such. you need to write the licensure exams and pass. That is when you can walk boldly and say, I'm medical laboratory scientist, and you can practice in that capacity. So until you pass that licensure exams, you cannot practice in that capacity. And the process of writing the licensure exams is for you to be first indexed with the Allied Health Professional Council. Then you'll be recognized as such. And the numbers or the pins that you'll be given is what you use throughout your academic stay here and also your career life as you progress with your profession. That is a little bit about the indexing. So when the time is due, through your course reps, before we will leave here, we will make sure you have course rep for the various programs. We will engage them and they will also engage you. Then we will index you appropriately. So make sure you have a copy of your admission letter with you. We will need your birth set, your WASI results, and all those things. So we'll get in touch with your course rep, then we will schedule a date and time. We will meet and we will properly index you with the council. It's very important exercise you wouldn't like to mix. So on that note, let me invite the head of department for Medilab, who will talk to you about your personal security, healthcare, and some sanitation issue. Thank you very much. Let's welcome him with a hand of applause.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the Dean, Professor Eric Ofori, I once again welcome all of you to the School of Allied Health Sciences in the University of Health and Allied Sciences. As he said, it's almost like a family. The school is almost like a family, and we care for our students just like we care for lecturers and the staff of the university. So your health security is of concern to the school. The dean takes a lot of priority or places a lot of priority on your personal security, your healthcare, and sanitation. But what I will first say about it is that you are first primarily responsible for your own personal security before the university comes in to augment your security. So you cannot leave your security to the university. So before the security staff of the university placed at various areas can increase your personal security or your security, then you have to first take it at the personal level. So for example, whilst you are working at night, you are leaving Trafalgar for your hostel, and there's a little bit of distance between your hostel and Trafalgar. It is important that you do not walk alone. You find a walking partner so that the two of you will walk from Trafalgar to your hostel. It's very important. So you don't be seen in places alone walking when the distance is more than a 5 to 10 minutes walk. That exposes you to some level of risk. And it is important that you take care of that so that the university can also augment your security. You just have to ask yourself, if you are moving from the hostel to go and buy something or to go and do something somewhere, all you have to ask yourself is to weigh the importance of what you are going to do against the security of where you are going to. Ask yourself whether you cannot leave what you are going to do at that night for tomorrow. Is it so important that you have to do it that evening? If not, then please sleep and do what you want to do the following day. It's better for you. So it's also important that you understand that your security does not only end or is concerned with people, unidentified persons in the university. So people from the community, people from places we do not know, all pose a security risk to you. But that is not the only time, or those are not the only category of people who pose a risk to you. In fact, your own colleagues can be a risk to you. So for the young ladies, if you are visiting, you are now leaving your parents for the first time. So I guess most of you have all the freedoms to do what you want. So you have a young guy in your class who has become your friend and he's inviting you to his place. Please, he is a risk. He is a risk. We have had incident of student to student harassment, student to student rape. Not many, I think about a few, but they are real. And so you should put all precautions at place. At best, go with your female colleague. You are going to visit him, so ask your colleague friend to help you go and visit him. If there is banku, you eat together. If there is rice, all of you eat and then you return. Until you can trust that the young man is a young man of integrity, then you can now begin to go alone. By that time, you are in the 3rd year, 4th year, and don't also be too anti-so. What we are telling you, don't be too anti-so. When I was in KUST, when you are in level 100, we say you are called Harry Wild Stock Last. By the time you get to level 200, it is what? Reduced to clear. By the time you get to level 400, is buy one, get one free. As a lady, your market value will be going down as you go level 100 to 400. If you leave here 400 without a potential partner, not good enough. So don't be we are not scaring you. We are only saying that be social, be friendly, but take your personal security a bit more serious. So there have been incidents of theft among your colleagues. Most of those thefts will occur when there's exams and you are asked to put your bags outside the exams hall. Phones, laptops, iPads are not allowed in exams venue. So there's an IE and the lecturer says because of the IE, all of you put your bags somewhere. If you are coming to write IE, we know that most of you learn on your phones and iPads and tablets. It's always important that you make sure you protect your phone, iPad, and tablets if you came to study with them. At most, make sure a security man is standing by where all of you are placing your bags. The best way is not to bring the phone at all. The phone is in the house, it's locked. So you have printed all the things and you are learning on it. It protects your phone. We've had incidents where after exams, students are looking for their phone. The only thing you will do is mediamanyame. Finally, that's what you do. If you can't find it, we can't call all the people who wrote the exams and search all of them. So, and these tablets and phones and iPads are expensive. You might have to call your parents to replace them. It comes at a cost. So be careful about that. Your male colleagues are not the only threat. Your male colleagues are not the only threat. Staff of the university, including faculty, including myself, are also a security threat for you. It is important that you categorize your relationships. Okay? Everybody you see on campus is a potential security threat. So you weigh the options and know what to do. If Dr. Alidu asks you to come to my house, please ask me for what? What are you coming to do in my house that we cannot do on campus? You have to understand that security is your primary responsibility. Thank you. Then, with regards to your healthcare, you are expected to have the NHIS card, the National Health Insurance Card, and it is supposed to be your primary funding of your healthcare. So, your healthcare is your cost. When you go to the hospital, if you feel you are not well, you could always go to the whole teaching hospital or the whole municipal hospital with your NHIS card. And it is your duty to make sure it is renewed constantly, frequently, so that at no point in your program should your NHIS card be expired and you haven't renewed. Because you could be caught in between the renewal period and you are sick. Your colleagues, HOD, and what we call as mentors are going to be called. They are going to help you get health care. But it will be unfortunate if they have to dip into their pocket to pay for your bills because you are sick. If you have the NHIS card, you are covered. If there's any extra cost that the NHIS does not take care of, we expect you to take care of it from your own pocket. So the university does not provide you free health care. The university makes available health care for you, but it's at your own cost. Thank you very much. With regard to sanitation, it's very important that all of us realize that we all come from different backgrounds, and it affects coexistence in the halls. Me, I come from the Zongo, deep in there. I only learned that when you are taking a lid off food that is being cooked, you can't put it like this, you have to turn it like this when I go to the university. So you see that I'm totally different from you, who learned all the ethics when you are at home. So when you get a roommate who is not at your level of, etiquette, norms, you teach. You don't do that you don't let that create tension. You teach each other. That's why you are in the university, and that's why you are roommates. All of you are supposed to learn from each other. So it's important that you understand that we are at different levels. Some people, when they go to the washroom, instinctively they know they have to flush. Other people, this is the first time they are going to use the water closet. I bet there are a significant number of people here who have been using the heating, and this is the first time they are going to use the water closet. So sanitation doesn't come to them naturally, and so you have to be patient in letting them know that, look, you cannot go and urinate and not flush. They will learn as time goes on. By the time you leave university, all of us are supposed to help each other come to a certain level of standard of hygiene. So don't let it become a point of confrontation. Be more patient as you take your colleague through these sanitations. And it is your duty to make sure your room is well cleaned, your bed is well laid. Those things I don't have to teach you. I'm sure you were taught at secondary school. Your environment where you eat. If they are in a hall, I'm sure there will be leaders in the hall who will draw timetable for cleaning the place. You are responsible for the cleaning, not the university. You are responsible for where you stay, where you sleep, to make the place neat. If your hall tutor comes around and you have messed the place up and all your colleagues point towards one person, you are the one who always go to slice plantain, cut cassava and leave the peels without packing them into the dustbin. Your hall tutor will take you on. And when your hall tutor is taking you on, it might not be very pleasant to you. Thank you very much, and this is the little I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alidu, the head of department for Medilab Sciences. There's one small thing I left in my presentation. Let me mention it briefly to you. In the university, we say that a student is in good standing anytime the student's CGPA is above 1.0. So I want you to be aware that anytime your CGPA falls below 1.0, you'll be withdrawn from the university automatically. CGPA. And let me show you how you can easily get it. The easiest way of getting your CGPA below 1.0 is continuously getting E, F, D, E, F, D. Surely your CGPA will fall below 1.0. E is a fail. F2 is fail. So if you continuously fail your papers, first semester you registered for 5 courses, you got E in 3, F in 1, then D in the other one. Second semester you registered for 6 courses, E in 4, F in 1, then surely you will get your CGPA below 1.0. And we will invite you gently to the dean's office. We will give you a little counseling, then we will ask you to go home. I hope you don't want such situation to happen to you. So you need to study hard. There are better grades there. We have A there, B plus, B. Aim those grades. Don't come down to E and Fs and D. If you do that, you surely get below 1.0, and we will ask you to go. On that note, let me invite my colleague, Madam Charity Osei. She will take us briefly through the code of conduct and the channels of communication. Thank you very much. Can you clap for her?
Thank you. All right, good afternoon to all of us. And then let me stand on the existing protocol and welcome all of you once again to the schools of Allied Health Sciences and then Sports and Exercise Medicine. Our time is fast spent, so I'll be very, very brief with whatever I have to say. I'm just going to talk to you about the code of conduct and then the channel of communication in the university. Let me start with the channel of communication. So from next week, when lectures begin, you'll be expected to elect class reps. And so that class rep is going to be your mouthpiece. When you have a problem, any problem of yours, you don't just get up and then walk straight to the dean's office and start complaining to the dean. Now the channel begins with the class rep. If you have a problem, you talk to your class rep about the problem. If he or she is not able to help you, when Dean was presenting, he made mention of the fact that you have heads of department, HODs. Your class rep will assist you to see your head of department and then talk to him or her about your problem. If the problem is still not solved to your satisfaction, you come to the school level. At the school level, you don't just get up and go to the dean. We have structures at the dean's administrative setup. You see the school officer. I am a school officer. He is one of us. He's also a school officer. And he is the school officer for School of Health and Allied Sciences. You see him and then you talk to him with your class rep and then your head of department. If the problem is still not solved, he directs you to see the dean. You don't get up and go to the dean alone. No. Let your HOD and then the school officer accompany you to see the dean and then share your problem with him. If you think the problem is still not solved at that level, the dean then writes. You don't get up and go to administration and go and see registrar or pro-VC, VC or anybody. At the university level, we believe in writing. The dean will put the problem on paper, write, and then he will forward it to management, and then it will continue from there. Am I communicating? Thank you. So you don't just get up and go to the dean or anybody and then start sharing your problems. That is that about the channel of communication. Now, code of conduct. The code of conduct are basically the standards that are expected of you as a student in the university. We are not expecting you to assault any of your colleagues in any way. If anybody does something to you, I just mentioned the channel of communication. You are not expected to harass anybody. You don't need to intimidate anybody. We don't steal here. You don't have the right to take anything that doesn't belong to you. Do you understand me? Okay, so finally, I just want to be brief. Our time is gone, so let me touch on the dressing. This place is not senior high. Like you were wearing uniforms in your previous schools. No, we don't wear prescribed uniforms here. We believe that we are all matured human beings here. We give you the freedom to wear whatever you want, but you don't wear anything to provoke anybody in this university. The guys, that thing you do, you wear your tofista and then you pull the trousers down. No, this is a university. Ladies, we expect you to dress decently. Don't expose any part of your body. You don't wear your short skirts and go for lectures and sit in front and open your ties. No. A lecturer has a right to sack you from the classroom if you are not properly dressed. Okay. So let's be guided by this minor rules, and then with time, we'll pick it up from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam School Officer. So at this stage, let me quickly add up to what she said. So we have also the Dean of Students. So depending on the type of issue that you have, you may also have to engage the Dean of Students and to resolve your issues. If you have problem at your hall, place of residence, we have tutors there, you have to engage them. There should be no point in time you walk straight to the registrar's office or pro-VC or the vice chancellor without engaging the school, your head of department, the school officer, the dean. We will solve our problems internally. Don't rush to the media to communicate any sort of problem that you have. At the end of the day, it's your certificate that you'll be littering if you go to the media to complain over there. Bring your issues to us and we will help you resolve it. At this stage, we open up for you to ask your questions, your concerns. Probably we said something you didn't get as clearly. This is the time for you to ask. Your HODs are here, your dean is here, your faculty is here, the school officers are here. So we'll open the floor up for questions. We don't have so much time, so let's be quick and fast so that we can break into our departments and continue. Questions and answers time. If you have any question, just raise your hands first, then I'll call you to come. Any question? I don't want to believe you understood everything we said. That cannot be possible. So don't be shy, raise up your hand, walk boldly. We are waiting for you. Don't be shy. This is the beginning of your greatness, so take a bold step, ask questions. It's good to ask questions. In fact, smart students always ask questions. So there's a hand there. I can't see you. Where are you? Okay, so you are bringing the mic closer to you so that you don't walk over here. So we have one person there. Let's see whether we can get 2 or 3 more. Any other person? All right, so let's listen to her.
Okay, so I wanted to know.
Your name, your department.
So my name is Josephine Kokochineboa, and I'm come to offer medical laboratory sciences. So I wanted to know if, let's say, I fail in a particular course and I want to rewrite, do I have to pay?
All right, thank you. Your question is well noted. Any more questions? Don't feel shy. Just raise up your hand and just ask anything on your mind. Smart students always ask questions. You should ask. Yes. Who else? There is not a good start. You should ask questions. Anyway. All right, so if you fail any paper, you have to. Okay, all right. We have somebody else asking a question. So. You did like this. You can do like this.
Please, my name is Elizabeth Tilabi. I'm in the School of Sports and Exercise Medical Science. Some of us were given Assembly Hall. And in the end, we're asked to go to Edna. I want to know if the hostel fee I paid in my admission form, which was allocated to Asogli, is the same for Edna. Thank you.
Why are you clapping? You can relate to it, eh? And we're all sitting down. Shame on you. Shame. All right, let me attempt answering the first one, then Dean will answer the second question for you. Prof is here, so he will answer the second question. I don't want to go there. So the first question, if you fail a paper and you have to rewrite, you pay some amount. You pay some amount. And I don't hope to see you rewriting your papers. Make the first attempt count. Study hard, sit down, go for lectures, revise your IEs, the things that will give you. Most of the time, your questions might not come from anything that your lecturer hasn't even mentioned to you before. So if you are serious and you study and you do group studies, don't be anti-so. Find yourself in groups and study. Probably something you don't understand, your friend will be able to help you do. So if you fail a paper, you have to pay some amount to rewrite that paper.